around the world is Arise News analyst Emmanuel Great Malabite Efeni. Great Malabite.
Good morning, Ruben. Good morning. Ruben, you're excited this Friday that you'll be resting at least very well over the weekend after the grueling coverage of the election. Well, it has to be. But we did a good job. Even if I have to say that myself. Ruben.
What is that proverb?
Good morning, Ayo.
If the lizard is not praised, Agama lizard. Agama lizard will say, I will raise my head.
No, even in this case, the lizard is being praised, going by the accolades we've received from all across the globe. Now, we start the review with this day Nigeria's newspaper of record. The lead story: 6 states asked Supreme Court to declare INEC's pronouncement of Tinubu as president-elect null, void, and of no effect for failure to transmit presidential election result electronically as required by Electoral Act, commissions, regulations, and guidelines. Claim federal government has power to compel INEC as agency of government. Yes. You want to say a litany of litigations on this president. But this one seemed to be different because 6 states, of course, mainly PDB states, Adamawa, Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Delta, Edo, and Sokoto, they have dragged the federal government and the Independent National Electoral Commission to the Supreme Court. And their prayers, what they are asking for, they want the Supreme Court to give a declaration to void the declaration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu as winner, the declaration done by INEC to be voided. And in fact, they are saying that they want the Supreme Court to also declare that announcement of Tinubu as the winner is in flagrant violation of the provisions of Section 25, 47 to 61, and 60 sub 2, and of course Section 62, 64, subsection 4, A and B, and Section 144 of the Electoral Act 2022. And of course, they're also seeking an order that the Apex Court directing a holistic review of all results so far announced by the federal government and INEC, which were carried out not in conformity with other than through the manner prescribed by the Electoral Act. So the Supreme Court justices, they have their hands full, as it were, concerning this election, because as we can see in the other story just above the masthead, Obi Whips, he says a one election will prove it. Atiku poll worst since 1999. I'll challenge it. Ex-VP reiterates belief in judiciary. Obi accuses INEC of tampering with existing voter data. APC tells ex-Anambra governor to accept olive branch or meet in court. Dismisses PDP candidate as delusional, responsible for defeat. Yeah, so the candidates are saying they are heading to the Supreme Court, to the tribunal first, and then to the Supreme Court, if that becomes necessary to, of course, stake their claim that they actually won. Like Atiku has said, he won the election, so he's going to the Supreme Court. Peter Obi also saying that he will go to the Supreme Court to prove that he won the election. Yes, Obi wept yesterday. And you reference that Ruben and Bishop Kuka also put that in a spiritual context by also referring to the scriptures where it was stated that Jesus wept. Of course, he gave further details there. But it must be put in just properly. Obi did not weep because he lost the election. Because yesterday, watching that live press interview, when he was telling the story of a young lady who graduated in 2018, had no job, had to do just job not befitting. And she asked the girl, so what do you want to do? The girl said she would love to start a baking business. And that's what she wants to do since she's not gotten a job. But she has no money. Well, how much do you need? She said 5,000 naira. And Obi said 5,000 naira in a country where people loot billions.
5,000 or 75,000?
75,000 naira. 75, thank you, Ruben. Where people steal billions of government money. So that was what brought tears to his eyes, as it were, yesterday. Just to put that in context, not, not that he was crying because he lost. Now, let's see. But above the masthead of this day, the window story, Nigeria's election badly flawed, INEC failed, says Financial Times in editorial, advises court to take hard look at Tinubu's victory if challenged. Yes, the Financial Times, in that editorial yesterday, Robert, you expatiated on that yesterday. And they're saying that the election, which is supposed to be a celebration of the sovereign people choosing their leader in a clean atmosphere. And they said, sadly, the February 25 presidential election did not meet that basic standard. And that's the Financial Times writing editorial. I'm sure Nigerian newspapers will come up with editorial concerning the election. Now, our other newspapers are reporting today. The Guardian newspaper, Atiku Obi insists they won, set for legal fireworks. Daily Trust newspaper, presidential poll worst in our history, Atiku Obi. Daily Sun, I won, will prove it in court. If we just look at the Business Day newspaper, quickly, big for content for Lagos was at stake. Yes, the governorship election in Lagos is going to be real battle. I mean, literal battle, not physical battle, but the tendency for it slipping into violence is high, given what we saw on February 25 and the resolve of other parties to also ensure that they don't have their way. The security agencies, Ruben, must do their work.
Yes. You
quoted the other day, the chief of defense staff who said he will bloody the nose of anybody who show up. But I did not see any talk being bloodied that day. Rather, voters were bloodied. Chief of defense staff, where are you? Inspector General of Police, look at Lagos so that we don't have fight on our hands on that day. Ruben and Ayo.
Well, what's clear is that what transpired on February 25 will have implications and perhaps also consequences for whatever would happen on March 11, particularly as the various gladiators, stakeholders are now in a battle mode. They will keep saying election should not be war. It should just be a sportsmanly contest. But what is turning out seems to be the opposite. Thank you very much, Emmanuel Efeni.